Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another Vegas Voice segment of Senior Vote. I'm Dan Roberts, publisher of the Vegas Voice, and our mission is to introduce you to all the individuals who have decided to run for elected office or are in elected office and will be continuing to do so. Our goal is to watch, listen, and then you decide if that person you think will represent you to the best of their ability. We're very pleased to have with us again, now a City Councilwoman of Henderson, Monica Larson. Monica, I thank you so much and welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's good to be back.
It's our pleasure. You know, I checked, and last time you were here was about a year ago.
Yes.
And you were an outsider looking in.
Yes.
And you beat the incumbent.
Yes.
And now you're on the inside.
Yes.
I guess my first question is, now that you're on the inside, is it what you expected, or was it worse or better, or how are you able to do it? It's one thing as an outsider to
Right.
jump and scream and yell, but now you're on the inside.
I'm on the inside, and it has given me a definite different perspective. I was told a lot of different things by an individual that weren't true.
Really?
Yes, and so once I got on the other side of the veil, I actually was able to witness it and see it for myself. And so that has given me a different perspective, and I see what the truth actually is. But I enjoy it very much because I love serving. I've served in any role that I've had in a different capacity, but I love it because now I get to shape and help shape the ward to the needs of the community.
And except for, let's say, that individual, what surprised you about being on the city council, if anything?
Aside from that individual with not having the morals and the integrity that I do, that would be the biggest shock. Aside from that, I love it. The mayor's great. My fellow councilmen are great, and we get along wonderfully. And so our interests are always the betterment of the city.
Well, you walk into the place as the new guy, the new gal, and I'm wondering, now that you've been involved, it just seems like, I guess the city council or the mayor, it seems to be in flux. I'll tell you what I'm surprised about is that the former police chief, who we've had on, after she left, whether she was retired or they forced her to retire or you fired her, whatever you guys did, she turns around and now she's running for mayor. And she's blaming everybody on the council. And I just want to know what your thoughts are on that.
Well, it's interesting that she doesn't take accountability for her own actions. She was given the city manager, which I have the utmost respect for and confidence, and the decisions that she made in the executive team. That was her responsibility. She gave her the option to retire. The former chief decided to not accept that, and she was fired. Her decision to run.
That's kind of shocking. It's surprising to the average person in Henderson that may not even know who the city council people are. But again, let me be frank, it sounds like a bunch of mean girls in a meeting room.
That is the campaign manager's little narrative that she's trying to spin.
Right.
Because the campaign manager is also the other campaign manager for someone else on that council running. That is the narrative that she's trying to spin, and that's what she usually does. She has the moral compass that I don't agree with either.
Well, let's give a positive spin.
Yes.
You run the city council. What are the accomplishments that you've done over the year that you say, look, this is what I've done?
Yeah, I've done a lot. As you know, I've been on since January. And so one of my first priorities, public safety has always been my priority. And one of the first things we've done is fix that roundabout off of Bicentennial, which was a nightmare.
It was, yeah.
It was accidents almost daily. I witnessed several that were really, really horrific, one including an 8 months pregnant female.
Oh, my.
And the steering wheel was in her stomach. So that was one of my first priorities. Also increasing, we got the new police department that has been sitting there idle for almost 3 years. The front desk open, that was a priority because it didn't seem like it was a priority from the former chief. And so I said, we have to get this open So we are on task to do that with a new chief who I am so thankful for. He lives within the community. He's very well respected, a man of integrity. And so he's robust in recruitment. So we've had 3 graduation classes of recruits, and now we have our highest graduating class, our recruits right now of about 40. So we will have that new department open finally by the end of this year.
And, you mentioned, again, last year, sitting right here, is that you wanted the city of Henderson to be more transparent,
Yes.
to know what's going on.
Yes.
Do you think that has opened up over the last year?
We have, and the city's always been transparent. Aside from an individual who was determined to make it appear that it's not for political purposes, the city has always been transparent.
So when you walked in, you took your seat, and you got sworn in, was it what you expected, or, oh my God, this is so different?
No, it's actually what I expected. The staff, the city staff are wonderful. They live here, they work here, and they're determined to make the city the best that it can. So they work extremely hard and diligently. And so does the mayor, myself, and the fellow councilmen. We work very hard to make the city the best that it can be. And that's evident by all the awards and accolades that you've seen. We received the Malcolm Baldrige Award, which is, we're one of only 5 cities in the nation to receive. And that's given out by the president. Our fire department has won numerous awards. Our economic development department just won another award. There's just all these great things. Parks and Recs just won another award. So we're on the map. Plus we got, we also received from HGTV, the second most desirable city in the nation.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah,
it is. Henderson is on the right trajectory, and we're doing all these great things to make it the best that we can be, despite the operatives who want otherwise. And why would you want to tear down your own city?
Yeah.
We are going to make Henderson the very best that it can be. We want citizens thriving, police thriving, fire, and all the businesses to thrive. We want it safe. We want our kids educated. And that's changing too. That's another win for the city. We just had, as you know, I don't know if you know the school system. We would vacillate between 46th and 49th, which was terrible. And we've moved that needle, and in conjunction with the new superintendent and all the great staff, teachers and educators that we have. And we've moved the needle. Now we have many of the schools, I don't have the exact projections, have now increased by 2 stars and some by 3, which is fantastic because that hasn't happened in some time.
Let me ask you this. One of the great things that I guess most people don't know is that they talk about the national election, they talk about the state election, but it's the city council, the city, that really gets things done.
That's right.
I mean, I know, and it's kind of ironic, last year when you were here, you said you couldn't get in to Anthem because they were giving you a hard time. And I know you have a meeting later on today just to address certain issues. So it really has changed.
It has changed.
And with that in mind, with all the accolades the city is getting, it really is a great place to live. Okay, now here comes the downside. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing. And people are coming up and saying, we're going to run out of water.
People, and I know that's like a
daily thing.
It's a fear of most people, but I can tell you this, we are in a drought. However, I can assure you we're not running out of water. The return flow credits allow us to recycle the indoor water usage to return it back to the lake. So water that we use outdoors, we can't recapture, which is why we focus on the outdoor water conservation. Because I know some people get upset about that. Why do we have to do all these restrictions? We're trying to conserve, because the more we conserve, the more we can help ourselves. And so that's why we're so strict on that. And we monitor everything just to ensure. And we work very closely, obviously, with the water district.
So I can tell my relatives they can move out here and the shower won't go empty.
Exactly.
You can do that.
Exactly.
Something else, and it occurred over the weekend, and I want to give you tremendous credit for it, because over the weekend, it was the Run for Their Lives, unfortunately, 2-year anniversary of October 7th. And of all the elected officials that were invited, including the mayor of Las Vegas, who backed out, the only one that showed up was you. And Why did you feel it was so important to be there?
It's always been important to me. As you know, that Jewish people, they're brothers and sisters. What happened was an atrocity, and we can never forget that. And it was that movement is about peace and unity, and always keep in the forefront of everyone's minds the hostages who were still remaining there.
And I know that the residents of Sun City Anthem that were there, and I know exactly who they are, they were extremely grateful that you showed up. So I just, every once in a while, we got to give credit where credit's due, and people are always quick to criticize the public officials, but that one I think you should be very proud of.
Thank you. I am. I'm honored. I was very honored to be there because it's important, and that's always going to be important to me.
So with all that in mind, if people want more information about you or two, they want to help you out and volunteer in any way, how do they get a hold of you?
You could go to my website, which is Dr. Monica Larson with an O, .com, or you could contact me, 702-208-3111, or you could go through my city email, which is monica.larson@cityofhenderson.com.
Well, and one final thing, and let me put you on the spot if I may. In your ward is Sun City Anthem. All right, I know you're meeting there today over some street restrictions or whatever. Seniors should be very grateful, or not, if not grateful, at least they should support you because why?
Because I care. It's not disingenuous. It's not for running in for a 5-second photo op. I care. I live within the community, and I want it to be safe for you. In fact, this afternoon is actually just public safety as a whole. And so we'll go over some crime stats and things like that. And things are important because I know there's been some issues within the area, and I'm always staying abreast. But the community, I've always been an advocate, very engaged within the community. I have a pulse on what the issues are, and I address them right away.
And again, I just find it very interesting that a year ago you were here and you said, they wouldn't even let me in, and now you're welcome with open arms. I mean, it says something about your character, about how you worked.
Thank you.
And like I said, I know what you've done, and I just give you all the credit for it. So,
thank you.
Monica, I thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hopefully we can get you back on again, hopefully not sooner than another year. But I thank you so much, and this is Dan Roberts for Seniors Vote saying we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.